program. Sorry, I meant to hit that button earlier, but anyway, thanks for joining us. Today's session, we're going to talk all things Wavio, and I'm joined by some fantastic folks here. I'm going to kick it over to Donna, and she can introduce herself, and then the lovely mentors who are joining us as well to be expert panelists on the call. I will be monitoring the chat, so if you have questions, please don't hesitate to drop those in there. But without further ado, Donna, take it away.
Thanks, Lisa. Hi, everyone. I'm Dana. I'm co-founder of Wavio. We designed Wavio Pulse with a group of wonderful DMCs at the end of last summer, and we launched it around January. And so I'm happy to share that with you and show you. And actually, it's not going to be me that's showing you. It's going to be Rachel, Cheryl, and Todd. It's going to show you how they use it in their classrooms. So thank you so much for joining us, and I'm happy to have you here and share this work with you.
I am Cheryl, and I am in Oklahoma City, and I teach fourth grade math, and I am a new Wavio user, and I'm loving it. So.
I'm Rachel Sunshine. I am in Burbank, California, although right now I'm in Mississippi, but normally I teach in Burbank, California, and I teach fifth grade, and I implement using math, and I've been part of the pilot team for Wavio and got to kick it off this year.
And I'm Todd. I'm from Rochester, Minnesota, and I teach seventh grade social studies. I'm also a modern classroom mentor, and I still have a smile on my face, even though OKC kind of took it to our Wolves last night. Cheryl, you're from Oklahoma City. Oh boy.
Thunder up.
All right, so great. So I guess we could get started. I'm going to share my screen. Or Cheryl, would you like to get started actually and sharing
Yeah.
yours? Okay.
I am going to show, where is mine? Right here. I'm going to show you my Wavio. And is it showing?
Yes.
Okay, great. So when I log in, there's a couple of different things that you're going to see, but when I went through, I can tell you the things that I love about it. I was resistant because I don't like change, and I was using Rob's Excel tracker, and then there was a thing on Facebook. So one day in the middle of my unit, I decided, let me check this out and try it. So what you're going to see is a unit that's halfway done and kids that went in and played with it. I've learned some things. So when you're looking at this is what I see. And it shows all the lessons. You can see that it's color coded. Here's what I just learned today. Actually, if I click on one of these, I can skip all to here, or let me see. I struggle with getting around in here because
The
I'm
learners, in the learners?
yeah. So I'm looking for where I can, this one. Okay. When I click in here, I can do all of them to change. Like I can change all of this to here. I can skip all of them. I love that when I entered this in, I did one thing at a time. I have started my next year's courses. So my students are able to go in. They don't see, theirs looks different. And I think somebody else will show you the student view later. But this is what I see. So this is what I use for my tracker and also my students tracker. So like it's like all in one for me. I'm not having to create anything different. I don't have to create game boards anymore. Students can go in and just check off their own things. I'm absolutely loving it. For my courses next year, so this is last year's, I go through, you can't see anything because I don't have anything in there yet, but I implement in all subjects. I've been implementing since when COVID started. So I started out with ELA, and now I've got every single one of my subjects done. And so I implement all. If this is your first time implementing, I suggest doing what I did and do one at a time and not try all subjects. But I teach fourth grade. So I am loving it, and entering in the things are super easy. I love that I can change it after I've put it in, and I can skip kids to where they need to be. It's just really been a great resource for me. Let me unshare. Was there anything else I needed to add to that, Dana? Donna?
No,
Sorry.
that's excellent. I mean, what you guys saw in Cheryl's in Cheryl's tracker, if you can pull up the lessons for a second, I'm going to share with them a little bit. Um,
Okay.
that she put an expert row at the bottom there um, in one of your trackers, right? Can you tell us how you use that part for the experts? Are the kids actually
Okay.
notice? Yeah.
So let's see. When I go here on here, so Abby, all of my experts on here, like one, they're always ahead of pace, and I use these students as my student tutors. So I've got 6 of them, and I had 6 groups, and I have them sorted throughout my classroom so that each one of these are at a table group, so they can help in there. But when I mark the expert, so let's go here, and I can change it. It's after she's mastered it, and she can help and teach it to anyone else. And her classmates will see that. So that's who they go to for help before they come to me. It frees me up to work one-on-one. It frees me up to do small groups. It makes it just a whole lot easier for students to get the help that they need right away. If you look right here, this angel, this one is need a revision, and he needed to do so he's done the work, but I wanted him to go back and do a little bit more. So I do that whether he's, not passed in mastery or something like that. You'll see all of these are marked incomplete, so they did nothing, which has been my thing all year long. And it's something that we struggle with, whether we're in a traditional classroom or whether we're in modern classroom. And so these are things where, I each classroom is different and teacher is different. So depending on what those students' needs were, I can skip them ahead. I learned here that I can make these all optional. I can take this one and say, okay, we're way far behind, and this is not gonna make it it's not necessary for me to know that I've shown mastery, so I can click it all optional instead of a must do, and you can change it inside this platform.
Yeah. And there are also keyboard shortcuts that you could use. They exist in the little question mark to the top right next to your profile picture. If you click on the question mark, yeah, there is keyboard shortcut. So basically you can hover over any cell and type M for mastered or E for expert or R for needs revision, and it would just make it much easier to change the status. You can also click the space bar and, give feedback to your students, for example. So there's a lot of features here that you can explore, and that would make your assessments faster, save you a little bit of time.
I learned something new today. That's great. And I love the number, set the number of attempts. That'd be
Yeah,
great. So, okay.
perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
So I think we're ready to move on to Todd, and Todd is going to give you guys a demo on how to set up your trackers.
All right. I'm gonna try to share my screen here. Let's see. Okay. Before I get started, just kind of want to tell you a little bit of um my background as far as how I started with Wavio. Um, I went through the mentee program for Modern Classroom. I think it was October of 2023, and I jumped all in, and then eventually became a mentor that of spring of 2024. In starting with the Modern Classroom, I looked at a lot of the progress trackers that they had, and I didn't really like what there. Let's just put it this way: there wasn't one that fit me, so I just created my own, and I was using a Google Sheet, and I thought it worked really well for me, but um, as I think most of us would agree as teachers, we want to find what's going to be it. Well, I think Cheryl, you said this about trying something new. Sometimes we're kind of resistant to that. I'm okay with it if it's more efficient. So I was always kind of keeping my eyes and ears open because I was keeping track of the students. I felt like if I gave them that power, that it would be abuse. That's I'll be straight up and say that. Well, then in I think it was December or January, came across, I saw something about Wavio, met with Donna, and I was like, oh boy, this looks like it's too good to be true. And so I jumped in, I started using it, and immediately I felt like my students um, they loved it. It was easier for them. And then I gave up that um, record keeping and I had them manage when they were turning in assignments. And I, I've taught 32 years and the group that I've got this year, I love every one of them, but it's a little bit of a tough group as far as just motivation and different things like that. But they've embraced it. I have not seen any abuse of them um, with marking things as done and so forth. Okay. So if I'm going to set up a course, I'm just going to go to the little plus here and add a course. And my screen is being shared, correct? Okay, awesome. Course name, I'm just gonna call it social studies sample because I teach social studies and it'd be easier for me to manage. And so you just name the course and then I just clicked on it and now I have my course. Okay. And from there, the next thing was inviting students. Well, I just love Zoom. Just wanted to tell you that. Um, so when I added students, I did it through my LMS, I believe, but let me just wait 1 second here. Okay.
Through the class, yeah, the classes.
It's right there. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second here. Trying to move this thing out of the way. All right. So, you can import from Google, create class. So I have to create class again, Donna?
You can create class and then just either give your kids the code
Yeah,
and they
that's what I was
join
trying to get.
automatically. Yeah.
All right.
Because this allows you to add as many sections as you want and it's not connected to the content.
Okay, there we go. So there I have my class set up. And then what I did is you just click on this little gear and it says show class code. And then you will give the class code to the students. Now, when they go into Wavio, I think I can show that. I'm just going to sign out here.
We can share that. We can share that later.
Okay.
Also, no worries. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Um,
I'll show you the add and the pacing and things like that.
yeah. Can you show them a little bit about the content?
Yep.
How do you add content? Yeah. And or how your courses look like. That would be great as well.
Okay. So, let's just say I'm in this sample class. I'm going to click on course. I know I'm going kind of fast here, but courses. and then click on the social studies sample. And then to add, this is what, there's so many things I like about Wavio. But this part really, I loved it just because it's super easy. So if you're going to add a unit, let's just say we're going to do a unit on the Civil War. Okay. And so I just click that in or click in there. And then to add a lesson, I'm going to put the lesson name and I'm going to call it activities. Those might be some of my day-to-day work. And then from there, I can add an activity. Okay. So let's just say, because we start a lot of the units off with an instructional video, I'm just going to put unit 1 intro video. Okay. And now I have my first assignment in there. Now, once again, like I said before, I love when things are made easier for us and just more efficient. And this is what I felt. It was more efficient for me, but it also really helped out the students is how I was adding my assignments. Now, for my LMS, and we use Google Classroom. So to add this assignment in here, I'm going to click on this little paperclip and I can put a little description. I'll just put this. I'm having a hard time typing today. This is an intro to our Civil War unit. Okay. And then what I can do is, and I don't know if I need to show this, Donna, but I can go onto my Google Classroom and under the assignment, I can just copy the link and then I can paste the link right in here. Now I have one that's saved, so I'll just put it in there. Okay. And then Donna helped me out with this because I was, once again, I wanted to be as efficient as possible. I have multiple sections of this class. So right here, I can label it second hour. And then if I want, so I'll just hit save there. Let's say I also have a 4th hour class that is the same section. I can just click on this. I would add the link from Google Classroom. And then I can go and I can put in 4th hour. But this is what really helped. Oh, that didn't save it. Anyways, this is what really helped my students is that when they go into their Wavio and go into the assignment and they click on this link, it'll go right to Google Classroom. And I guess I'll call myself a little bit of a Google Classroom expert only because when Google Classroom first came out, I joined. And so I don't know how many years it's been, 12 years or whatever. And I've tried everything in my power to get them to follow along. When I started Modern Classroom, what I found them to do is they never do the assignments in order, even though they were in order. Wavio kind of took care of that because when they finish an assignment, it'll go right to the next assignment on Google Classroom. Okay. And did you want me to show us, what did you want me to show next?
Actually, can I jump in for a second?
Yep,
Can you
for sure.
show them how to change the little icon to the left of the activity type? To change it into a video to the left of your numbering of the unit 1. If you
Right
click
here.
on this, yeah.
Yep.
If you click on this, you can switch the activity type to a video, notes, assignment, mastery checks, etc. That's gonna just a little indication on your side and on the kid's side. The other things that we have here to the right is the must should aspire that you could play and change your activity type based on those. And then the last thing we have is this little blue button. So between the link and the Must Do Aspire, there's something that's called toggle tracking. That will automatically be on. And that means that all your activities are going to show up on your tracker. If there are activities that you're not planning to assess and you just want the kids to be responsible to complete them, like for example, video and notes, or some extra activities that you're not planning to grade at all, you can unclick that button and it would not show it on your tracker. Everything will always be shown on the kid side, whether whether you clicked it or unclicked it. But for you, if you're not planning to review this or assess it, then you can unclick it and it will be removed from your tracker side, just to save you a little bit of headspace, right? Give you a little bit more headspace. So would you mind, Todd, just showing us one of your courses, just so for people to see how that looks like
Sure.
for one of your actual courses? That would be great. Yeah. So like you see, Todd has here looks like 7 units, right? Yeah, and he's got like all of his assignments in, etc. And then there is something really nice that he's got on the oh, can we look at the the pacing for a second? Yeah.
Yep. I was just going to show you
Oh
so
yeah.
these are, and I can easily minimize them, which I really love. But yeah, these are the units. What did you want me to do, Donna?
Oh yeah, one more thing before we move to the suggested pacing. Everything here is movable. You can drag and drop like every lesson, every activity, every unit. You could just like hold it and move it around. But yeah, let's go to the suggested pacing because that's the next important part of everything. So here,
I'm
look,
gonna just I'm gonna
yeah,
I
you
so
wanna, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
well, you'll notice at the beginning I didn't do that because I was new to it. But I'll go to let's see here, right here. So this will show the suggested due dates. And I use pretty soft due dates because of, just because of the self-pacing.
Right. And then you could hide and show an entire unit if you'd like by clicking on this eye icon. So if you're working on a new unit and you don't want the kids to see it, you can hide it while you work on it, or even if it's just a lesson, you can work on that lesson and then drag it back to the unit you're working on. So it's not all open for the kids to see if you're not ready to share that. Also, if you want kids to stop working on past unit because you gave them the grace period and it's time to move on, you can also hide past units here by just clicking on this eye icon. And by adding these suggested due dates, that's how you dictate to the tracker what is on pace. So that's what's going to help them to figure that out. Yeah. All right.
One other thing that I really like is when you type in a suggested due date, you can click, I don't know if you can see my little arrow up here, you can click update all, and it'll go across all of your sections if you have multiple sections of the same class.
Yeah. Thank you. Awesome. So I think we covered most things, and we probably are ready for the breakout rooms, unless anybody has any questions they want to ask before we go to the breakout rooms.
All right. Well, if there are questions, feel free to come off of mute or drop those in the chat, but I'll go ahead and open 4 breakout rooms where each of our guests are going to host and answer questions. Donna, do you want to say anything about what each of the breakout rooms will cover? Will there be a specific, or is everything going to be the same?
No, everything is going to be the same. I want to share for a second how they can, because the breakout rooms are meant for you guys to try out Wavio. So I'm going to put in the link here. Um, the link to access Wavio. I recommend, if you guys, we're not a lot of people here, so if you guys can write in the chat, um, um, well, if you're using Clever, I would recommend log in with your Clever credentials. That's for sure. If you don't have Clever in your district and you're just using, then just log in with whatever your Google account is. And then in the breakout rooms, you could start setting up and ask your host any questions you might have. And Lisa, can we do 3 breakout rooms and I'll just hop between them? Thanks.
Yes.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, so I've opened those 3. You can choose from Rachel, Cheryl, and Todd, and then Donna, you should be able to move between those rooms.
Thank you.
And it looks like we're at 26 after the hour. Let's plan to come back 10 till, do you think?
Like 35 at 35,
No, I'm sorry, 50.
50.
Is that too much? How much
Yeah,
time would you like?
yeah, I would like 35 at 35. Let's give it like 10 minutes, about 10 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
awesome. Thank
or
you.
35, 30, 36, something like that.
Okay,
All right, thanks.
you're welcome.
All right. All right, so everybody are joining the different rooms.
Hi there, everyone. As they're coming back, um, Donna, um, let me know if you want to kick off this next
Yeah, when
session.
everybody's back, we'll give them a few seconds. Thanks. Let me know. Thanks.
Yep, that looks like everyone.
Okay, great. Beautiful. So we can now move on to the third part of the conversation where Rachel is actually going to show you the student side. I'm really excited about that part because, well, Rachel will share why. All right.
So here are some of my students from this year. So I have 2 students to show you. One is my student who was like ahead of pace, and then one who was a little bit more behind pace for various reasons. So this is the student map that they see. On the left-hand side, they have access to whatever units you've left available. So I've hidden units 0 through 7 or 0 through 6 so that they only have access to 7 and 8. And then they have, you can see all of the lessons here. So my unit section is equivalent fractions, and then they have a video to watch, 2 videos to watch, and then assignments. These are must do's, and then later I have should do's and aspire to do's. When the student is done, they can check off the little check mark here, and it goes gray. So this student is ahead of pace, so of course all of his stuff is gray. And then like Todd was showing earlier with the links, if I click the little video, it has the link already here. So my students can click that and it takes them directly to the video. And I also use Google Classroom, so mine is linked and it takes them directly to the Google Classroom assignments. When you put in those soft deadlines, it shows them when the soft deadline is due here. And then anything that's green on the side says that student has mastered that lesson. And they can also see at the top, the student's all done and everything's green. So they don't have any revisions. They don't have any optional items. They are done with everything. If I go down a little bit later in my unit, then you can see it has an A and an S for aspire to do and should do activities. I also use coding in my Google Classroom, so I have red, green, and yellow for my should do, aspire to do's, and must do's. And then here is another student. So this student is 96% complete, which I don't think is totally accurate. And you can see there's a little blue mark here, which means he has some optional assignments to do. This is where he is currently at. It gives that little "you are here" marker. The check mark is blue because he hasn't completed that assignment, and the colors for must do and should do are also colored in to bring his attention to things that he hasn't done. This yellow is an assignment that he needs to revise, and then the blue arrows is the optional section. If he clicks on this one, then he can also see my feedback. So I can give him words of encouragement, tell him what he needs to fix, give a modification to his assignment on there, and then like he could toggle between the two. And so like I've already gone in and made these optional for him because I know that he is a student. He's a resource student, so he's out of my room a lot, and so that helps him stay focused on what he needs to do. And then he can click that and it marks it as done, and it makes it that light gray versus having the blue background. Also on my student up here, I wanted to show back to that master and that expert. So when I marked this student an expert on 7.2, he can see it on his versus as the light green versus the dark green of just being completed. So that's the student side. You can also access the student side when you have when you're in your courses and your classes and you have your student list here. You have the little binoculars, so I can click on this and I can see it from the student's perspective. Or if you wanted to create a video to show students how to navigate the student perspective, you have that access on your teacher dashboard as well. That's the student side.
Beautiful. Any questions, anybody? Okay. All right. So did you all try and use the tracker or sign in? Did you have an easy time signing in? Okay.
Sorry, I'm not at a computer right now, so I
Oh,
couldn't do
no
it,
worries. Yeah, no
but I
worries.
look forward to it. I'll do it later tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we can answer any questions if you have. Thanks, Brandy.
And if you don't have students on your roster yet because you're in the middle of years, I'm going to drop a link in and you can join our demo class, and then you can play around with it as a student so that you can see what they see and kind of click around.
Yeah.
You won't
So
really
this is thank you for sharing that, Rachel. So actually, what Rachel shared here is a link and to Wavio. And when you access this link, you know, when you access Wavio for the first time, if you sign in as a student, you can join a course to teach you how to set up Wavio. And if you go step by step, it also activates your teacher side. So that's a really good resource to either share with other people that want to learn about Wavio, or for yourself to set up, to learn how to set up your own account. So you start by accessing Wavio as a student, if you access it first as a teacher and you need the student access, just email me. I'm going to put my email in the chat. But if you access it first as a student, then it's no problem. You can activate your teacher side. It's easy. All right.
And one thing I would like to mention for anybody watching the recording, that student code that Rachel just shared is in the deck. So if you navigate to the end of the deck, I'll have that all posted, which you probably already figured out if you're watching the recording. But anyway, it's there on slide number 8. Thanks so much for sharing it.
Thank you, Lisa. We also have, we have also a little survey at the end there that we would love for you to complete. And we always select a few winners from this survey, and we send them our Wavio stickers that you can award to students. So this is the barcode and the link and the stickers. If you could take us there, Lisa, that would be awesome. And just so they could see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it looks like whoever's sharing their screen. It's
Okay.
the
It's
QR
not you.
code is
Okay,
there.
that was you.
Yeah, that's okay. No
Thanks.
worries.
Yeah, so the stickers are in one of the first slides there. It shows them. I don't know who's sharing.
I'm sharing.
Oh.
Rachel is.
Thanks, Rachel.
Back to the-
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah. So these are the stickers that we sent. So if you could fill out the survey and add your full address there, and then we select a bunch of folks and we send them the things. And here's all my connection, all my email. You can actually set up a meeting with me, or you can go to our website. In the website, there are tutorials, webinars, hear what other teachers say about Wavio. There are a lot of resources. Actually, if you don't mind, I want to share actually the help pages on our website for a second. So I'm gonna so Rachel, I'm gonna replace you for a sec, okay? Thanks. Okay, can you all see my screen? Great. So here on the top right, next to your profile picture, there are guided tours that you can take and go through the entire website, the entire platform. There are help pages, help docs that has like all the information that you need. Even have a little video by Rob showing you how to set up and use the tracker. There's a lot of information in there that you can use. And then lastly, in your profile picture, when you click on it, there is a little, drop-down menu that's called Profile. If you click on that, you can start setting up your course. So Roger, I mentioned to you, add a co-teacher. To add a co-teacher, you go to your account and just add this person's email and just click add. That would send an invitation to that person. If you want to modify the order of the display of the student names, it's also in here. If you want to modify the course labels in terms of numbers, maybe you want to start from unit 0, you can change here to start from unit 0. There are a lot of little things here you could do. In the general one, you could also change the theme to dark if you guys prefer the dark mode. So yeah, so this is a few more tips of advice. I'm gonna stop share. Yes.
Wavio has also been a hot topic in our Modern Classroom Facebook group, and Donna's pretty active on there as well. So throw out ideas, and then you get more people besides just Cheryl, Todd, and myself chiming in and giving their input.
Thank you. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to using it.
Thank you. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah, and so if anybody has any questions, please reach out anytime. let us know what you think. If you have any suggestions, we're happy to help.
Thank you. And so as we wrap up, I reposted in the Slack, or in not Slack, in the chat, the sticker giveaway link, the full link. It sounds like, Donna, maybe the bit.ly wasn't working there. So
Oh,
I
okay.
put the full sticker giveaway link, and then the other link is the survey. Like, let us know what you thought of this presentation. We review your anonymous feedback. It helps us to build out our programming. So you do have two separate links there for today's session. And we have a little bit of time if you have questions, but if you don't have any questions and you're ready to continue on with your day, you're welcome to hop off. As always, thank you for joining the workshops. I recognize a few names of folks who have been attending a few now, so thanks for your time. And other than that, have a great day. And Jonna, Rachel, Todd, and Cheryl, thank you for your expertise. And we'll stay on for a couple more minutes. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining.